Alright, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Boulevard Brewing Company, and they're out of Kansas City, Missouri, and this is their Vietnamese coffee-inspired Imperial Porter, and this is the 2023 limited release. So they're calling this one a porter with coffee, chicory, cinnamon, and lactose sugar aged in brandy barrels. It comes in at 12.8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, and this bottle is just under 3.5 months old, but it does have a please enjoy by date of August 28th of 2025. So according to Boulevard, we should be more than good. So this is the second of 3 beers from their barrel-aged mixed 6-pack that they released recently that I'm reviewing on the channel. A couple weeks ago, I reviewed the Spiced Imperial Stout. It was basically Imperial Stout brewed with spices, and I think maybe a spice, and it was a cinnamon and then aged in apple brandy barrel. Absolutely phenomenal beer, very akin to their Brandyland, which I reviewed back in 2019. And then they have this, and then the last one I'm going to review is their Rye on Rye on Rye. I love their Rye on Rye series. I've had so many, I shouldn't say so many, I've had like 3 or 4 different variants. They've all been delicious. I love rye beer, so I'm hopefully saving the best for last. But I am very curious about this one. They've released this one before. I know it's not on tap. They've released this one in the past. But yeah, they're trying to go for Vietnamese coffee in Imperial Porter form, I guess, barrel-aged Imperial Porter form. And Vietnamese coffee, I don't think I've ever actually had it, but basically it's coffee that is blended with sweetened condensed milk, and yeah, it sounds pretty good. But yeah, they're using coffee, chicory, cinnamon, and lactose. So the coffee they're using is Colombian coffee, and the cinnamon is Saigon Cinnamon. So yeah, we're gonna crack this one open and get it in the glass and see what we think about this one. And I've said it once and I'll say it again, I think Boulevard has one of the most underrated barrel programs in the US, and a lot of their beers are shelfies. Shout out to Some Pump doing work, but they're shelfies. Like this barrel-aged mixed 6-pack, which I went to like 3 different places, they just have it hanging out. And that, you know, Spiced Imperial Stout was fucking phenomenal. You know what I mean? Jesus, I mean, they need more love, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to do something like this. Not going to pour the entire thing in, okay? I want to be able to get my schnoz in there. All right? All right. So I want to, you know, figure out, oh my God, look at the legs. So I kind of want to get my nose in there and just, you know, I don't have to pour it all in. So that is, on camera gonna look pitch black, in person is a dark brown. There's like ruby red, almost like reddish brown tints here at the bottom. Hold it up to the light, yeah, for sure. Kind of has almost like a Dr. Pepper kind of look to it. The head, I'm trying to swirl one up here. The best you're gonna do is probably like a third of a dark brown colored head. There are alcohol legs, aka sheets, all over the place here. It's just fucking crazy. Definitely can tell this is a big 12.8% barrel-aged behemoth. But yeah, I mean, it kind of plays the role of what you're looking for as far as this would go stylistically. Nose. It smells fucking awesome. So the first thing that hits me is the brandy. It has this like sweeter kind of brandy vibe. Tons of like caramelized sweeter sugars. There's vanilla, there's caramel, there's toffee. But then underneath that, I'm getting a nice mixture, like I'm getting mocha vibes. So I'm getting like a nice sweeter dark chocolate with like a medium roasted coffee. Because of the lactose, it's giving me a little bit of like a milk with, a coffee with milk in it. The cinnamon, very slightly noticeable. If I was doing this blind, would I be able to tell you? Not right off the rip. I don't think so. It's not that big. But now that it's opening up and I'm swirling it, I'm starting to get like cinnamon bun vibes. Yeah, starting to get a little bit of like a roasted kind of malt quality as well. Touch of like a black cherry. Molasses. As I keep on swallowing it, it's becoming richer and richer in the nose. And I've mentioned this before, maybe it's because only half of my glass is filled, but when I've went to bottle shares in the past and, you know, we're sharing a lot of big barrel-aged beers or big just like imperial stouts and barley wines and things of that nature, This smells a lot of times when I get done with like my sharing glass. Like let's say we all have like a small, just a glass period, and you get down to there's almost nothing in the glass, and you just smell it and it has all that rich malty goodness. That's what I'm getting in the nose right now. It's a touch of like an oak as well. It's all over the place. It's not really all that cohesive in the nose. Like I said, mocha and maybe like a cinnamon bun or a cinnamon roll. It's somewhat disjointed, but not in a bad way. Like I'm getting everything in stages, which is, it doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, sometimes I get a little bit discouraged by what I'm smelling and how it translates into the taste. I don't necessarily get that discouragement right now. Like I'm still pretty excited about this one. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. I don't understand. Holy shit, there's so much shit going on. Listen, I promise you this is the last time I'm going to say it. I was gonna be like, this is the last time I'm going to say it. No, I'm not, because there's no way I don't. Boulevard, you guys make some great fucking barrel-aged beers. And it's a shame that a lot of people that I know or that I see don't give you guys enough respect, because almost everything I've ever had from you, barrel-aged wise, has been just fucking top-notch. And then you have stuff like Tank 7, and even like their, what's their 6 glass, their quad's really good. These are fucking phenomenal. These are phenomenal beers. They are. And they're shelf turds in my area. You just walk into, shelf turds is a term of endearment here, but you walk into a local bottle shop here, you just get that mixed 6-pack, no questions. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to know anybody. You don't have to trade for it. Buying this is fucking, it's quite thick actually for Imperial Porter. This is like full body, almost 13% full body. Is it thick and chewy? No, but it's definitely full body. Has almost a slight syrupy kind of tinge to it. You know it's a bigger beer. The mouthfeel, this is a little less carbonated than I anticipated. This is like mild to moderately carbonated, which I think I actually enjoy because it's soft on the palate, but it also has a smooth, somewhat creamy nature to it. Mouthfeel and body, fantastic. Taste, I get more cinnamon in the taste than I get in the nose, and it's really rounding out a nice base barrel-aged Imperial Porter. Like there's coffee, there's chicory, there's coffee in here, but that cinnamon is just adding another dimension to it. So we'll try to break this down properly. This is gonna be another long review, whatever. It's worth it because this is gonna be a fucking great rating. First thing I'll say is if you don't like cinnamon, probably not gonna like this. It's definitely heavy-handed in the taste, but not overly done for me. But if you're somebody who's like, I hope that cinnamon's tame, no. It's not. It's definitely one of the key components here. Right up front, I get hit with like a slightly roasted malt character, right? And that kind of just fades away. Then I get mocha vibes. The chocolate and the coffee really, and I guess the chicory kind of like intertwine and blend together and make something that reminds me of mocha. It's the first thing that hits me. As it continues through, there is a touch of dark fruit, like a cherry. Yeah, more like a black cherry. Definitely maybe like a dried cherry. It's not really super sweet. There's an underlying molasses, again, caramelized brown sugar molasses. Maybe a touch of like a toffee, but it's more like molasses than I'd say brown sugar. That's the first half of the palate. So already super complex, but the second half brings the barrel aging characteristic to it and the lactose. So that mocha vibe I was getting, the lactose kind of hits it. And again, I guess Vietnamese coffee, sure, that's kind of, that lactose kind of hits it and gives me a vanilla tinge, but I'm also getting vanilla from the barrel, get a little bit of oak, aka vanillins, and then the cinnamon sneaks in, and it just is a blanket on top of everything, and that's where I'm getting like cinnamon bun, cinnamon roll, almost like a French toasted vibe to it. Like it's pretty wild. I don't know if cinnamon is in Vietnamese coffee, but if not, I think that'd be interesting to introduce. The barrel, the brandy, maybe the brandy is like the only thing to me getting a little bit lost. Do I know this is barrel aged? Yes. Would I be able to tell you if it's brandy blind? Probably not. I would probably think it's bourbon or whiskey. I wouldn't say brandy or anything outside of the realm of a bourbon. I wouldn't say like, cognac or, any or rum. Even though I'm getting the cinnamon, maybe I would say that, but I don't know. I don't think I would. The brandy is just more of the barrel as opposed to the spirit in the taste, and I'm fine with that. I love brandy barrel-aged beers, but I don't need it in this one to be the predominant note or you know, pop in and be super substantial in the taste. 12.8%, yeah. Is it boozy on the palate? No. Is it warming into the chest? You bet your bottom dollar it is. But at the same time, I don't think I'd guess 12.8 if I was doing this blind. Probably guess 11, 11.5 max. It definitely hides it well for what it's supposed to be. It's not boozy on the palate. It's not hot. It's not, you know, a distraction to the rest of the beer. It's just fucking... Boulevard makes fucking great beer. What do we want me to tell you? I don't know. Like, I can't believe so. I feel like I'm saying nobody drinks Boulevard, and that's obviously the furthest from the truth. But I don't see a lot of my beer tubing friends pick up Boulevard barrel-aged beers and review them on a regular. I've reviewed, I think this is, if I do this and then the Rye on Rye, I think that's like 5 or 6 barrel-aged beers I've had from them this year alone. I'll tell you right now, when I do my top, I'm going to change it to top 10 breweries because, you know, I've reviewed probably close to 400 beers. So I got to do top 10 breweries instead of 5. Boulevard's going to be on that list for this year. And the top brewery list is going to be, you know, of the beers I reviewed this year. And I think I'm going to make a thing where, a rule where I've had to at least review 4 beers on the channel this year, in this calendar year. Boulevard's going to be on that top 10 brewery list. Why? Because their barrel-aged beers are fucking top-notch for something that almost anybody can get if you get Boulevard in your area. Like, it's not hard to get their stuff. And this is a perfect example. Like, and this is sweet, has a desserty vibe to it, but it's not overly sweet. I mean, it leans sweet. Don't get me wrong. It's desserty, it leans sweet. But there is a nice, like, mild bitterness. There's a little bit of that oak tannin dryness. I would say stopping me from giving this a 5 out of 5 is leans a little bit sweet. By the time I'm done with this bottle, I'd move on. It's 13%, I'd move on anyway. But what I'm saying is, by the end of the last couple ounces, I'd probably be like, it's a bit rich. I think that's a better word, rich. It's more rich and decadent than it is actually sweet. It doesn't have like a super confectionery sweetness. I just think that being, you know, there's a little bit of sweetness, and then I think to some degree, I'd like maybe a little bit more of the barrel, but again, I already said that it doesn't need to be there, but it'd be nice. But I just think it's the sweetness that kind of stopping it from me going nuts about this one. Do I like this one better than... You know, I'm pouring the rest. I'm drinking the rest of this time. There's no way I'm saving the rest of this. Do I like this more than the spiced Imperial Stout? Yeah, I do. Very slightly. So the Vietnamese coffee-inspired Imperial Porter, the 2023 limited release from Boulevard. That's a 4.75 out of 5 all fucking day long. No questions asked. Yeah, pick up the... Listen, I have to say it again. If you can get single bottles, just so you have to only buy a single, not entire 6-pack. If you can get single bottles of that Spice Imperial Stout and this beer and then the Rye on Rye, do it. I haven't even tried the Rye on Rye. It might be the worst of the 3 for my palate. Who knows? But do it, because I think for $5 or $6 a bottle, like, it's totally worth it. And I think I might go back and buy another bottle of each and age them. But I really don't need to because I have so many beers in my cellar. Anyway, price point availability. I think... I want to say 6-packs were like $26, $27. I paid 5 something for that bottle. I think it was $5 or $6. Same as I paid for the Spice Imperial Stout. Yeah, no questions asked. You're talking about, even if you buy it in a 6-pack for like five and change for a bottle, all day, every day. This is fucking top-notch, world-class stuff here. So yeah, all day, every day. And availability, go to Boulevard. They have a... beer finder on their website, so you can check out if you get it in your area, and they do have a drop down where you can specifically pick stuff you know, from their lineup. And I know right now you can click on the barrel-aged mixed sixer, and it'll tell you if they have it locally in your area, and they do have it at a couple different places here in my area, and I've seen them and I believe it. So I think it's pretty accurate. So yeah, not much more to say about this one. If you've had it before or the prior release of this one, or what did you think, post in the comment section. They are 2 for 2. Even if the Rye on Rye is not how I remember their Rye on Rye series beers being, it's still well worth it, because these 2 beers, you get 4, you get 2 of each. Still worth it for the 6-pack, because these are fucking phenomenal beers, and I cannot stress enough how much I enjoy this one. Would I say this mimics Vietnamese coffee in Imperial Stout form? Sure, But again, I've never had Vietnamese coffee. I would say that if you're picking this one up specifically because it says Vietnamese coffee inspired Imperial Porter, you might be a little bit let down because I don't feel like the coffee vibe in this is too much. I was talking about mocha, and then you add in the lactose. Maybe it has like a, a little bit of like a coffee with milk vibe, but it doesn't fucking matter because I don't rate stylistically. I would say it's just a fucking great beer. And that's where we'll leave it. So huge thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. I'm going to go drink the rest of this. And then at the end of this glass, probably be 3 sheets to the wind, lay my head down to rest, and go to sleep. To the next one. Cheers.